Leigh-Chantelle from VivaLaVegan.net, and I'm here today with Denis Hennelley, and we're going to talk about his new film, Bald Native, which is an animal liberation film. And I'm here in New York as part of my US adventures, and we're at Washington Square Garden. So, how are you, Denis?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, very good, thank you. And tell me about Bald Native.
Bald Native is a film about animal liberation and the philosophy of animal liberation. So it follows several stories. One, a father who's looking for his son who's wanted by the FBI for domestic terrorism for his animal liberation actions. It also follows his son as he's underground and putting together an animal liberation action. And then it follows a woman who works for a welfare-based organization that's fighting to get more humane treatment of farmed animals within the system. So it's basically it's an adventure story. It's a road movie. It's supposed to be a piece of entertainment that asks a lot of questions and sort of explores some of the philosophical issues involved with animal rights and animal liberation.
And it covers quite a few aspects of the animal liberation sort of scene, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's not comprehensive. It doesn't cover there's so many elements and so many ways that people fight for animal rights that we're focused on animal liberation actions and that ideology and whether or not that's terrorism. For us, a lot of telling the story was about exploring the question of whether or not breaking into a lab or a farm and liberating an animal and damaging that lab or farm is a terrorist act. I mean, it's clearly a criminal act because it's against the law. Whether or not something's a crime is not a matter of morality, it's just a matter of fact. If there's a law and you break it, then it's a criminal act. But the question is, the word terrorism has been used by the industry and by the government to paint these actions as something that should make people afraid. And we're questioning whether or not it is terrorism. Whether the intent is to strike terror into the heart of people, or if the intent is to take animals out of situations of exploitation in a direct manner. And I think all people who are fighting for animal rights are trying to take animals out of these positions. Some people do it by lobbying, some people do it by petitioning, many people do it simply by being vegan, and making that contribution. So it's a huge, complicated movement, and this is one little voice in that movement, and hopefully there's more movies about this issue.
Yeah, and I guess, it's a great way to show people that, to put a face on the ALF or the animal liberation sort of movement and show people that they're doing it because they believe in it instead of the terrorism aspect. So hopefully people can associate with the characters in the movie quite well and see that it isn't a terror.
Yeah, I think it's good to obviously it's a fiction film, so we're not really showing the real face of people who do animal liberations, but from all indications, people who do animal liberations are people just like you and me, who've decided that they can no longer stand by while this exploitation occurs, and they're going to do something directly about it, even if it means breaking the law and risking their own freedom. They've never hurt anybody. It's strictly forbidden within the rules of the Animal Liberation Front to hurt anybody, human or non-human. And so it comes down to property damage, which if you break a window because you're mad at somebody, or because you just think it would be fun, or because you want to go into their house and steal money, you'll get less time in jail than if you did it because you're trying to save an animal.
I know, it's pretty full on in that Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act as well. I can't believe that. That's intense. And hopefully at least the movie will bring awareness to these sort of things that are a bit, full on.
Yeah, it's basically the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act gives stiffer penalties for identical crimes if they're committed against an animal industry or an animal enterprise. So it's basically, thought crime legislation that if you don't like this particular industry, the fact that you don't like it, the fact that you have those thoughts about animals having rights, you get the worst sentence, and it's it's a whole other thing.
Exactly. And yourself, how long have you been a vegan for?
I have been vegan off and on for 18 years. I went vegan when I was 18.
Why did you decide to be vegan?
I went vegan because it was really stupid, actually. I was with a friend and we were having lunch, and she was vegetarian. And she ordered a salad, and I was like, that's interesting, so you don't eat meat? And I guess I really hadn't even thought about it till then. She's like, no, and for her it was because she was an Ayurvedic person, and so it was like a health thing. And so I was like, oh, I'll try that, see how it makes me feel. And it made me feel great, and I was like, great, I'll just do this. And a couple years later, I met Ethical Vegan, and she kind of explained to me why, you know, the ethical reasons behind it. And, you know, I think during that 18 years, I sort of like would sometimes have like organic cheese and free-range eggs and these sorts of things. But then as I got, you know, more involved and more interested in talking to more people, and they explained to me why free-range eggs weren't okay and why organic milk wasn't okay, like I cut those things back out of my diet. So I don't know how long it's been that I've been, you know, since those dalliances into eggs and dairy. But I mean, what made it really easy for me to not ever have any cravings for anything like dairy again was going out to the dairy farms in Chino, California, which are, you can see them from the street, and just getting involved and seeing the process by which, you know, animals are exploited really makes, all this stuff doesn't seem like food anymore. You know what I mean? Like, people say, don't you miss that? I'm like, I miss those things like I would miss eating dirt at this point. It doesn't even feel like a food item. Once
you know the reasons why not to do it, it makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it seems like not food any more than you or I would be food, you know? So.
And so, what other movies are you working on, or what other things are you working on? What's you run a company with Casey?
I have a film production company called Open Road Films with Casey Suhan and a few other people that we work with. Jessica Hagen, who plays Jane in the film, who's the woman who works for the welfare organization, and then Jeff Bowman, our cinematographer. And you know, we all work together on various things. What we're doing next, Casey and I are working on a piece with Sport Foods, which is a vegan cooking class, two sisters in Los Angeles. And they are with us doing an online cooking show. So it'll be great for people all around the world. You can like log on and watch their classes, which are like an hour to an hour and a half long, and you learn how to cook a 4-course vegan meal in real time. Wow. You know, it's not like there's this recipe, then that recipe. It's like you do this, and you do that, and you do that, and you know, so you know how to like navigate the kitchen to make this full meal.
And what's their website?
This will be sporkonline.com. So sporkonline.com will be the cooking show, and that'll be up in September. So that's that, and then getting the DVD out so people can see Bold Native everywhere.
Yeah. What are you going to add on the DVD?
We're going to have special features of like deleted scenes, but we're also going to have interviews with the cast members and with activists, and hopefully some information about if you are interested in going vegan, how you can do that, and how you can become involved in, you know, animal rights activism, whether it be like volunteering at your local farm sanctuary or writing letters or protesting or things like that, which is all on the website right now, boldnative.com. At the Take Action page, it kind of goes through like, you know, all above ground activities that you can do to fight for, you know, animals' rights.
That's great. And I've seen you in Portland, and you've had a launch in Washington. You've got one this weekend at New York. Where else are you heading to?
Well, after New York, we're headed back to LA to get the DVD done, and then we have interest from a lot of places to show it. We just have to work it out. I mean, it's just me and Casey really working out of the office now and trying to like get the movie shown places. So we're working with people. When they can help us find a venue and bring it there, we'll hopefully do that. But we really want to focus on getting the DVD done right now, so that's the next priority. Then we'll start thinking about more screenings.
And where can people see more information about Bold Native?
Boldnative.com is the website, and that has the blog, it has screening information, it has a store where you'll be able to get the DVD.
And also you've got some really good merchandise too, the shirts and the hoodie.
We have like, we've sort of started a little t-shirt business, which was not what we intended, but it's been helping to finance the screenings. So basically it lets us go with the film to places, and you know, it's kind of like a band. So, touring.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Dennis, for taking time out to speak to us. And check out boldnative.com for more information, and see vivalavegan.net for more interviews. Thank you.
Thank you.